back. We're ready. We're rolling. And we're still talking about domestic violence. We still have Miss Coleman and we still have Martha here. And we're not finished talking yet because it's a topic that we cannot talk enough about. Because it's our fault it's happening now. You know, we have to take ownership in a lot of things. You know, beforehand, we didn't take ownership because we were raised, most of us were raised in a household that told us something wrong. And the wrong thing our families told us is whatever happens in this house stays in this house. Mm-hmm. We bought that. We bought that elephant, and it has turned out to be the nightmare that we have now. Because from that, a lot of things have happened. Domestic violence has grown because that happened. Because as we know, when we were little, all of us knew Mr. So-and-so used to beat his wife on Fridays and whatever nights, and your parents told you that's not your business. You stay out of that. This is not your house. It's not your business. And you listen to your parents. Okay, it's not my business. But you to yourself, you're like, but he's still beating her. But okay, it's not my business, but he's still beating her. But we were raised that way. So we respected that and we were confused as whatever, but we didn't say anything. Because once again, that's where we were raised and told. And to me, that is the cause of where things are now. Child abuse. You know, we knew kids that were being abused, but once again, what did your parents tell you? That wasn't your house. It's not your house. It's not your business. And you go, okay, it's not my business, but the kid's still getting beat. You know, they told you it wasn't. So you just left it alone and assumed someone else is going to fix that because it's not my business. Little do we know, we had the whole, everybody parents telling you the same thing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when it happened, it just happened. And like I said, that's to me was the catalyst of this now. It's gotten this far because of those same words. Mm-hmm. So we need to stop telling our kids what happens in this house stays in this house. We need to stop saying that because we're telling them that all these other things are okay. It's okay to beat your wife. It is. It's okay to beat the kids. It's fine because whatever happens in this house stays in the house. Sexual assaults, we're telling kids it's fine to happen because once again, whatever happens in this house stays in this house, which makes it all right. So we have been taught that it's okay because it's in the house. It's in the house. Well, we need to stop saying that because we see everything's on the rise of the negative. Our child sex trafficking is growing, and everybody knows, I'm going to say it again, it's a $2.2 billion business in Texas, and it's our fault. It's our fault. Kids can't stop sex trafficking. It's not their job. It's our job. But through not being worried about it over there and not being concerned about what's happening over there, we're letting it flourish. Child abuse in Bell County is bad. We're high up in the numbers. Why? Once again, it's not my business, you know. So, and like I said, with domestic violence, you know, it's bad when your police department has to have a section of the police department for domestic violence. It's good that they have it, but it's bad that it's got that far is what I'm saying. So I'm glad they have it, but it's went that far. You know, it's so it lets you know now when things get that out of control and they got to put a division for that, then you know that we need to do some work and we need to do it quickly. We need to do it quickly. We don't have time, so we need to take those off. Take all that out of your head. If I see a kid getting beat, speak up. I'm gonna say something. Speak up. And I'm on a child welfare board, so I'm gonna say something, you know, quickly. Those of us in education, how'd you get that on your face? What happened? Right. You know, and you go from there. You know, when we see some man in the parking lot or whatever cussing out his wife or girlfriend, do something. Speak up. You don't have to go and charge him. You could just simply stand there. He's surely not going to hit you. Right. So all you do, if you just stood there and let him know I'm not going nowhere, I'm just standing here, he's not going to come after you because you're not the target. He's going to tell you to go away, but he's not, you know, he's not going to do anything. But sometimes just stand there. Hey, pull out your phone, got to take a picture. We got a phone, we take pictures of everything else. But we need to become reaction people. We need to stop letting things go. We're talking about the church. I met a lady her husband was a pastor, and he was beating her. So she the first lady. Could she tell the church she was being beaten? No, she couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, she could have, but oh my gosh, she's the, you know, pastor's wife. Oh, she's the first lady of the church. You know, oh no, but you know, she went through that until finally she left. But when she left, who did they criticize? Her. She was wrong. She was wrong. So for you two, I'm glad you're out. and you're not, you know, you're not keeping aside, because both of you have girls.
Yes, I had all.
You know, and the thing you need to make sure is that they understand what happened, how it happened, and they need to also understand why you stayed. That they have to know. You got to tell. That's the hard part, but they do have to know why you stayed, because to them, they're going to say, why did you know, kids first thing, so why did you stay? You know, to them, their mind, why did you stay? I
actually told my daughters why I stayed. And I explained more to my daughters now, because they didn't know. I'm going to say my two oldest kids knew. But my youngest child, she didn't know. She didn't know what was going on. All she knows is that now daddy's not in the household in the same, why I'm splitting to go here and go there. I didn't make him out of a bad person. I didn't tell anything that was going on between me and him. But my two oldest kids, they knew.
Right.
They knew that when, okay, if daddy come home drunk or whatever, and you know, it's about to be a long night. We might not even go to school because mama gonna be so, yeah. You know, you never know what's gonna happen inside this household that night. But I explained to my daughters everything. Good. And as time go by, I realized that if I would have stayed, if that police officer would have never removed me from that house, that I probably would have stayed. I probably would have never left. And anytime how my girls would have came out, they would have grew up thinking this is the way that I'm supposed to be loved. Right. So I'm thankful, I'm grateful that that police officer, the same one, was coming every weekend, was coming to my house, and he could have took me or him to jail. Right. But he kept coming and he kept talking to me. And to that last time, he told me, say, Miss Young, that's it. You are too good of a person to be. Let him have it all. What are you fighting for? Look at your daughters. What me? This is what you want them to be. And I was so mad at that police officer because he made me leave my home and me and my kids have nothing. And as I look back over now, I realized that, you know what, my girls wouldn't be in a predicament they're in now with good, a good home, knowing how to raise their kids, you know, and stand on their own. And I had to think that they were looking at me and the stuff I was going through. And I thought it was just hurting me. It was hurting them too. Yeah, it is. Yeah. They seen all that too. And I had friends that I was confide in and tell them what's going on. I mean, and the reason why I wouldn't tell them all, because I had one friend, we were like, you know what? We gonna burn this house down. And it's me and her talk about this conversation all the time. She said, we gonna burn this house down with him in it, you know? Yeah. And I didn't want to add on extra to my problem. Right. I didn't want to add all that. In the mix of me going through the abuse, I lost a daughter. I lost a daughter at the age of 10 to cancer. And I was dealing with losing a daughter and losing a marriage. Oh, wow. So I felt like that it was just, I'm just done. I'm not believing no more. I mean, why are you taking me through all this? Yeah. And I thought I was the only woman that was going through it. I didn't think nobody else. I didn't think men were going through it, period. I thought it was just women going through it until I spoke to someone and they told me they was going through it too, and he was a guy. I was like, wow. But men really don't want to say because this was the men, the macho men. So no, they're not going to tell anybody that they were abused or anything like that. But I'm going to ask you, Ms. Coleman, you work for the lovely KISD. So did you ever reach out to anybody that worked for the district?
I spoke to one of my coworkers the first couple of times that he had hit me, and I let her know. I said, you know what, so Corey hit me. And I told him, don't ever hit me again. So what did she say? She said, if you need me, I'm here. Okay. But the thing is, like I said, people say I'm here, but they only do so much.
But also, and I'm here, you don't know what that means. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't know what because like when I told her, they let me know you ready to leave and I'll come and get you. Yeah. Well, I specifically told her, you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, I learned to specifically say that. I had to learn that because I would have said, but I had to learn, no, this is what you need to say.
Get out.
Say,
go.
That's it. Go
get your stuff, let's go. I think there's no going back.
Right. I think a lot of people don't do it because we be so deep up in it that we'll leave. They get us out of the situation, we go straight back. I did about 20 times, probably a little bit more, because I was with him since I was like maybe 19 years old. So this is the person that I left my mama house from, and went to his house, and he's the person that I don't grew up, don't taught me certain things, how to do certain things. And so it's like he brought me under his wing. It's like my daddy.
Right. Okay.
And he had all control over me. He was the one that was making the calls. I didn't do nothing without him. Yeah. So even if I told my friend what's going on, and she told me, hey, leave. I could leave by a day. And if he come and find me, I'm going back home. I'm grabbing my kids and I'm going back home.
I remember the one time where me and my husband split up. I was pregnant with our baby. I was 6 months pregnant with our baby. And he was acting crazy outside with the neighbors. He was drunk out of his mind, acting crazy with the neighbors. And there was a big old fight at the door. Probably half of Colleen knows about the fight because he posted on Facebook after the fight. He had got beat up at the front door. I was literally just in my robe, and I could see through the peephole that he's being beat up. He was drunk out of his mind, but he's being beat up and attacked by the neighbor. And so I'm screaming through the door, stop, stop, stop. But I was just in my robe, 6 months pregnant. And my son at the time, who was 15, he said, Mommy, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. So I couldn't even open the door.
Right.
And then sure enough, by the time I finally got the door open and the police had came, the ambulance had came, he was all bloody and everything. And I kicked him out then for a whole week. I kicked him out, and for a whole week we were broke up. But he didn't move back in until after Jimmy was born, our baby was born. But in that, I was thinking to myself, this is the person I love. You know, I'm pregnant with his baby. I'm, trying to keep my relationship, trying to save
something.
I'm thinking we're supposed to be together, But in that, he had when I kicked him out that night because he couldn't stay. The police pretty much said he had to go.
Right. Yeah.
And so he got mad at me and posted on Facebook, I hope you and your son die, this and that and this and that. And that was when I was 6 months pregnant. And sure enough, people would call me up and Facebook me, D. Tony, take him back, take him back, take him back. He's sorry, this and that, this and that.
Oh, wow.
And so because of all of that and hey, take him back, he said he's sorry, and all of that, I ended up taking him back. That was when I was 6 months pregnant, and then Jimmy was born. But since then, and then what happened in July, when he tried to kill us, when he had the lighter and lighter fluid, saying he was going to kill us and burn the house down with me and 4 boys in the house, ain't no going back. You tried to kill us. You literally had lighter and lighter fluid in your hand, trying to kill us.
So where is he now?
He served 45 days in jail, which is mind-blowing to me. Just 45 days. Mind-blowing. Got released. Had a protective order.
Right.
The very next day after getting the protective order, with the church on the protective order, he violates it, finds out what my new Facebook name was, and posted stuff on Facebook. It violated the protective order by going on my Facebook page. So then in November, we went back to court for child support. He got arrested at the courthouse in Belton, the child support court. Served 3 days, got out.
Oh, wow.
So we're supposed to be going to court again for the violation of the protective order. That'll be at the end of July. So this person, not only has tried to kill me and our boys, he's attacked other women, and it's on documentation. It's documented. So I said to the people at the Bell County Courthouse, I'm like, who's to say he hasn't already killed somebody and nobody knows about it?
True.
Who's to say he hasn't, all these other women that are out there that no one knows about? This man has been attacking women for his whole life, pretty much. And no one's done.
He keeps walking.
He's a walking time bomb. I told Bell County, I said, he's a danger not just to himself with the alcohol and drugs. He's a danger to society, a danger to women and children. All over the Central Texas. So wherever he goes.
So see what you need.
I don't know where he is, but wherever he goes, he's a danger.
But what you need is those of us who, I'll say, don't give a dang about him, or whatever, to actually contact the police department and put pressure on them and say, why is he still walking around after all this? Because see, you can't fight this alone. You're trying to, but you can't.
It's like I'm trying to.
But you can't.
I found out
but you can't. You need those of us who don't care. Like I said, and I have that don't care. I'll yell and scream anyway. It doesn't matter to me if it'll get something done. Now that's when we need to come together with you, and we let you know what we're going to do. You know, such as we'll say, we need to call the police department and say, hey, why is this man allowed to walk around and he's doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G?
Yes.
But see, that's when you need us to do that.
And it's even
because we'll do that for you because we need to know that something is happening.
Yes.
You know, we don't want him to touch you and your kids, but also we don't want him to touch. That's what I was saying. We don't, the future women that's out there. So since we need to stop it, you need to give us the information we need to help you stop it. Because what we need to do is come together and do just that. Stop it. Because see, by yourself, you're just one person. But if the police department, and I'm going to just say, I know Chief Kimball's cell phone number. So, you know, I wouldn't put it on Facebook and nothing, but, you know, I go, hey, listen, why is this man still out there? But we need to come together and do that for you. We need to do that for any other woman. If that nut is still out there, we need to be calling the police department. Hey, why? And after a while, they're going to get tired of you calling. And that makes a reaction at that point because you got too many people calling about the same person.
Yes.
And it gets the ball moving because you can't do it by yourself.
I even tried to get legal aid. And because apparently I'm not his first wife, I'm the second wife.
Right.
And I found out through the courthouse, legal aid, somehow legal aid representing him with his first marriage.
Oh.
And just mind-blowingly, somehow he deceived them. And the 13-year-old, he's not even supposed to have him, but he has him. The 13-year-old, the grandmother is supposed to have legal custody of him because of what all went on with his first wife. And I found out that legal aid representing him. Therefore, I'm having to represent myself at the courthouse for my divorce.
Well, you know what? The person in charge of legal aid is on our child welfare board. So I can ask him what's going on.
It's crazy.
I can actually ask him because he's on our child welfare board.
I literally cried when I heard that. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
What? You guys represented him before? What? Wow. I didn't even know this. I'm married to this person, didn't even know this. Man. How is this even possible that it even happened?
Yeah.
He's not only deceived me and our children.
Everybody.
The state of Texas has been deceived by Corey Coleman. It's crazy.
Okay.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. So we're gonna first of all, we ran out of time, but we never ran out of the topic. Right. And so this topic is never going to go away, and I'm letting everybody know now. In October, yes, we'll have the next funeral for domestic violence. Yes. And why are we having a funeral instead of a walk? Okay, walks for me do nothing at all. I walk, okay, fine. I'll go home, soak my feet and whatever. But if I go to a funeral, I'm going to remember that because it was a shared moment with a bunch of people over something. And it's more meaningful. And I'll say it this way. If it wasn't meaningful and wasn't remembered, Martha would have never called me. When someone told her, call her, she did a funeral a couple of years ago. Right. Okay, so that let me know that's fresh in somebody's head that we did it. So, and I like to do things that nobody else is doing that I think will make an impact. And so we're going to do another funeral, Martha. So, and we're going to do the repast. Nice. And so me and Martha partners in this. Miss Coleman, you want to partner in it? Let me know. And we'll slot you a place where you're comfortable at. Will I have people there to do the bodyguard thing? Sure. I had a bike club that'd be right there. So we did everything. We covered everything. But this year I wrote a skit. I wrote a kick in the face skit. It's gonna, bam, so, cause I think things need to be bam, and then you'll understand and you feel it. Right. But I want to thank you for coming on the show this morning. I want to thank you, Martha, for helping her go through that. Just being next to her is a help to be there, just for her to know, I got somebody that I can, reach out to, right. Touch, I got a face with a name, she's not a face, a name anymore. Y'all connect. And for Martha, who's building her ministry behind this helps her. Right. This is helping her. And, when you come out and talk, this helps you heal. It helps you heal because once you start telling your story, you'll learn that I can tell it more. you know, and we need to know more. Those of us who working with you summer school, all of us don't need to know because some of us are crazy. But anyway, you know the ones who might need to know. Me, I'll give you every piece of paperwork I can find. You know, I do research, and everybody, you research something you've never been through. Correct. Because it's my job to help fix this.
I told my daughter that that day at work when we were talking.
Yeah.
Just you mentioning domestic violence. It was like a window opened.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is my purpose. If God brought me through all this that I have went through, fussing, dealing with domestic abuse, and I feel like it's my purpose to go and tell my story, to be able to help and encourage other women to come, you know, other people behind my story. So that's why, you know, I'm doing the book, and that's why I'm, you know, trying to participate in different other things, so I could share my story and, you know, and give them what I went through, so they could be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm going through it now. So if she could come out of it, I know I could come out of it. Okay.
Well, Martha, I'm putting Ms. Coleman in your hands. And I want to thank everyone for listening to Kids Community Connections this morning. I hope you've learned a lot. If you haven't learned a lot, then I don't know why you didn't. But I want you to know that everybody who's listening, we need to stay in this fight together until it disappears. When it disappears, we'll be all right. But until then, step in the fight. And I mean step in with both feet. Step in, both feet, all your arms, legs, everything. Step in and let's, you know, do something about this. And we need to also attack some of our men organizations, because we need to know what they're talking about with the brothers. We need to know. But like I said, I want to thank everyone for listening to Kids Community Connections this morning. I want to thank my two guests for coming on.
Thank you.
And I want you to always remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.